Good evening, everyone. How are we doing? Hope we're all good and enjoying the beautiful weather wherever you are in the world. Before we start, I'm going to show you the best watch you can get for around and definitely under $50. You can almost buy any of these now brand new. So none of these are like, second-hand stock, like really old. Before we get started, I'm going to show you this. I bought this today, which is very unusual. I've never had one of these before. This is an MGA 100. Extremely rare. It's made in Japan with a 333 module. So normally, like these watches never have this alarm feature here, which is very bizarre, or this little symbol. I only paid what I paid for this, £10 in one of the boot sale markets here, and yeah, super cheap, all works perfectly fine. There's a few little spots on the chrome here, but I mean it is very old. It's probably 82, 83. I'm going to look into this a bit further, but it's pretty nice. I don't know what that says down the end there. I'll do a look at that. I wonder if you can zoom in. See what it says. It's like a little serial number in Japan. Yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, let's get started. So, affordable watch, if you want to wear a watch on your wrist for under $50 and you want a Casio or a digital. So out of all of them, this is the only analog and digital watch that I'm featuring. Now, when these originally came out, these were around $69, but there is a ton of them on eBay now, unused, very cheap. I paid 27 English pounds for this, and there is so many on eBay now, brand new in a box for around a $30 mark, some $40, but there is a ton of them out there, so much to choose from. So this one is called the AQ800, and it features an analog time and a digital time as well. And because it's got analog, you haven't got a crown to turn the clock. It's all digital, so you press this little button here. Can you see it? You press this little button here and you can adjust the clock by the hands digitally. And it's very reliable. And this one also is water resistant. It's got a stainless steel bracelet. Let me show you. So at the moment we're on, so we've got a stopwatch here. It hasn't got many functions. We've got an alarm. I think if you hold the button in, you can hear it. Not too loud, but it's there. And also, this is the clasp. So if you wanted to change the bracelet, it's a little clasp like this. It pops open and that unclips. And if you wanted to change this, you lift this part up here, slide it where you want it, clip it back down, and bob your uncle. And also, to change the battery is effortlessly. You don't need a screwdriver or anything. All you do is pop open this cover and you can change the battery. But the battery on these will last you such a long time anyway. So that's the first one. And by the way, I put each watch on so you can get an idea on size and what it looks like on my wrist. Now, my wrist is 19.5 centimeters. Let me just do this up. If it reaches, what I do is, because it's not fitted to my wrist, this is basically what it looks like. And it's quite a lovely watch, isn't it? You can't, what I'm getting at is, it's not an ugly old thing. It looks lovely. It glistens in the sun. And it's pretty cool. And you can read that time, no problem. The little display down it is on the tad on the small side, but you're never really going to look at that because you're basically just concentrating on the analog clock. So that's the first one, and that's called the AQ800. Let's put this one back. However, I'll tell you what, I'll leave them here so you can have a little look, see what we featured. The next one, which I featured the other day when I did a comparison of the AE20. This is the LF20. Now these are very, very cheap. You can buy these on the Casio website as well. They're very good value for money. They're nothing compared, in my opinion, to the original one, but that's another story for another day. Even though it doesn't compare, it still doesn't deter the fact that it's a great watch, great display. You've got a lot of the old nostalgia 80s look. It's similar to that. You've got a digital analog clock and a digital clock down here. You've got well time here. And the good thing about this one is you've got a little bit of an animation. So when you press a button, it does this little twisty thing here and you can switch over different displays. Let's put the alarm on. This one is a little bit louder, the alarm, compared to the other one. Oh, hold on, I just muted it. Let's unmute it. Let's get back on the alarm, if we can ever find it. Oh my God, what's the matter with me? Oh, can't even press it. No, don't worry about that. Leave this. The light is pretty good, so the whole thing eliminates. Let's try that alarm again, because let's get on the alarm. Oh my God. I did that alarm earlier. Why ain't it bloody working? So stupid. Making me look stupid, this thing is. I'm gonna, 1 second. Finally, goodness me. To change the battery on this, it is 4 screws at the back. And this is the LF20. A lot more features than this one here. And this is what it looks like on the wrist. Good size again, quite clear display. And you've got a stopwatch and timer on this one. And if you want something that's really cheap, this is probably the best one to go for. This is very, very cheap. And there's quite a few on eBay for 20, I've seen some for $20, $30. The next one is a calculator watch, but it's the modern day version. And let me just a little zoom in here. So this is the CA500. They made these in a different cases as well. So this one's a silver, obviously. They made one in a gold, and the other one is like a charcoal black. And it's very, very shiny. Now the problem with the shiny is this. Fingerprints constantly on the watch, and it makes it look very, very smudgy looking. As you can see there, I barely held it and it's already like that. And as soon as you start pressing these buttons on here, because you've got a glossy pad, that won't take too long to having fingerprints all over it. And it's very hard to clean because you've got all the buttons in the way. Apart from that, if you want nostalgia and you want the old calculator watch, then this is a good model. Now, these, when they come out, and they're still on for sale now, on the Casio website, are around $65, $69, something like that, or pounds, in English pounds. But if you go on eBay and you're buying, they're still brand new. There's still lots of sellers that bought them, don't want them, and they're still quite cheap. I've seen these for sale on eBay, 30, 40, some around £50. So be patient. There is a ton out there, but they do sell pretty quick. Unless you want to go on the website yourself and pay a little bit extra to get a Casio, for buying it direct from Casio. Or a lot of places will have a discount, like 20% sale, which would take this around the £50, $50 mark. This one here, you've got calculator mode, obviously, you've got your alarm. Let's no, I don't want to press any of the buttons here because my fingers are very smudgy. Dual time as well, this has got. And yeah, you've got the 4 screws at the back. Again, the same with this. The clasp just opens, unhooks. And I'll also show you it on my wrist. And this is basically what it looks like. It's bigger than normal, isn't it? But again, it's still very nice. Still looks beautiful. So this is the CA 500. Next one. This one here is the AE 1200. And this is sort of box it comes in, instructions. This one's got a 10-year battery life. Now the difference with this one is, compared to the rest, it's quite big. So let me show you against this one here. It's enormous, isn't it? A lot bigger. Let me show you against the calculator one as well. And it's a lot chunkier as well. Let me put it on my wrist so you get an idea of size. This one's got a different clasp as well. So to open this one, you push these 2 little buttons here and it just releases. You lift it up and that's like a concertina effect. And if you wanted to adjust this, you got the minimal adjusters here. So you can adjust this, push the pins in and slide it over to where you want it. These are micro adjustments. But if you want to take links out, they're pretty straightforward. You will see on here an arrow. So you see there the arrow, you can just slide the pins out and slide new ones back in. I'll show you what this looks like on my wrist as well. It's pretty big. It's big, but a lot of people do like large watches. And the good thing about this one, ow, very pinchy by the way, I've noticed that on these. These here really do pinch. If you've got hairs on your wrist, you will hear yourself whelp now and again. Right, so let's have a little look at this one. What I like about this one is, I love this silver bit on the outside, what they've done here. It makes the watch very pleasing to the eye. I love the writing on the outside. Casio went a little bit overboard here, and for once they did quite a nice job and didn't make it plain Jane. You've got a great light on this one as well. All lights up beautifully. We've got world time. A lot of these watches, Casio, they've got the same functions all the time. This one here, you've got the analog clock here. You've got digital world time. It's your date and time. And there's your alarm. I think this one here is quite loud. Timer, stopwatch, there's your world time, and that's basically it. This is probably the highest battery life that Casio do, which is 10 years, which is quite a good achievement. I think this one here has got the plasticky feel because you see the little seam you have here. Even though all of these are plastic, you don't really have that little seam at all. You see on that one there's no seam. I don't think there's nothing on this one either. But for some reason this one has got, it's like, this is a polished chrome. This is sort of painted matte and you get this little, I feel this makes it look cheap, this little plastic seam that you have there. But it doesn't deter. That is probably the greatest watch out of all these here, I think. I just think it looks really nice. I think this strap as well complements the matte effect here. Even though it's matte, it still feels got that little sheen to it as well, which looks pretty cool. So don't forget you've got world time on here as well. And the buttons are really wide on here. Let me compare it to this one here, for example. See the difference in the size of the buttons? They're a lot more chunkier, a lot more wider, the watch itself. and huge. Put it against here, face to face. It's quite big, isn't it? It's a big old watch, but I do like this watch, and it's something that I would wear. It's a great watch to wear every day, and they're so inexpensive. These are really, really, really cheap. There is literally, in the UK, I can go and buy this tomorrow on eBay in a box for £20. Can't get better than that, can you? Super, super cheap. So don't forget, that is called the AE 1200. Casio did make a cheaper version of this. It hasn't got all this chrome parts here. It looks like a cheaper version. So if you don't like any of them, but you want something a little bit more basic, this one here is a good choice. Now this is called the A163. And if you know the F91, which is Casio's most popular watch, this is basically the same thing, but a chrome version. Let me just zoom in so I show you. And again, got a good little light on this. Was it this side? Or green? Alarm. That's probably the better sounding alarm out of all of them so far. Now this is incredibly cheap. You can pick these up for £10, £20. Dollars, probably around $20, the same thing again. You've got alarm, stopwatch, and that sort of, all have the same same sort of features. This one is, I mean, all these watches I'm showing you, they're all plastic. None of them are metal cased. But this one is a polished chrome effect here. And I like what they've done with the glass. They brought it into the case as well and made this little bit like this, which really adds to the effect. I always find this is a very underrated watch. No one ever speaks about it. You see them and you seem to brush past them. But if you like the F91, you will love this, guaranteed. This is a great, great watch. And it has that 80s, 90s feel. They've got the red and the yellows and the blues colours into it. And it's a great watch. Let me put it on my wrist and you will see for yourself. It's nice, isn't it? It's nice, but do you know what? I don't even know if I would wear it. I don't know. Although it is nice. I think it's very underrated, by the way. And to be honest with you, I'm a bit surprised how nice it is. I've had it for a while in this box, in its tin. But I sort of, like I just said, I brushed it away. The thought never crossed my mind how quite well made it is, you know. I should have done a separate video. It is quite a nice watch. I like what they've done here with the screen. They brought the screen right out here and curved it round. Put little squares, little angles on it. You see the angle on there? Yeah, I like it. When Casio go above and beyond to make the aesthetics of a watch better, I really do like that. Yeah, this is my undercard. I really do like this. I forgot how lovely it is. Because I always keep them in the tins or boxes and I don't really view them. Except the only old ones I view are my collectible ones. If you want something traditional and 80s style, you can buy this one here. $30. Some I've seen these for sale and sold £15, £20, $20. Super, super cheap. Now, if you compare this to the original 1980s version, there is hardly any difference at all. It's exactly the same watch, more or less the same strap as well. Everything about it is almost the same. So if you did want something 80s Casio, you cannot go wrong with this, especially for that price. I do believe everyone should have one of these in their watch box because they're so super cheap. You might as well have one. I'll put it on my wrist and I'll just show you what it looks like. Pretty cool. thing is, I'm so used to seeing a calculator watch. And that's the difference between these two. They're the same. And there's a lot difference in the weight. This probably weighs 3 times what this weighs. Mainly because of this. But if you wanted to work in an office environment and you want something a little bit more sophisticated, this is beautiful. If you're going to the shops and you're just going around your business and you don't care about it getting knocked around, you can't go wrong with this. By the way, this is a CA53. Great watches. One more, no, 2 more. Now, if you want something basic, and you want something super cheap and cheerful, this you probably never even seen one before. This looks like a G-Shock. Now, let's have a little look. This is called, by the way, the F108. Let me flick it through, and it's quite chunky as well. Good sized buttons. Sort of a robust feel. You got this G-Shock feel to it, but it's not a G-Shock, it's just a Casio. Very lightweight as well, and they made these in a variety of colours. Now these are so cheap. I think these are so cheap. People don't even sell them that cheap. Stopwatch. Oh, is that a light? Yeah, the light again. There. Great display on this as well. Quite a loud alarm, isn't it? Yeah, let me put it on my wrist and I'll show you. I've had this for a while, by the way. Do you know what? I've never even got it out of the box. It came as part of a Casio job lot someone was getting rid of. It's not for me because it's too white, but it's a great watch. You know, Casio do make some good stuff. It's very well made as well. I feel like the strap is really good. You've got a lot of bounce here. These bits stop it from bending it over. You've got 4 screws at the back. Where's this made anyway? Probably China. It's China. The clasp is good. You've got written here. These are so cheap. You can probably go on eBay and buy this for $10. Super cheap. Now, if you don't like any of them, and if you don't, there's something wrong with you, you can go back to the very original F91. Now, the F91 is Casio's most popular watch ever made. And it's not, actually, let me start again. It's not Casio's most popular watch. It's the world's most popular watch ever. Now, this has got everything. Everything is super cheap. And the good thing about these, they have an orange one. They have a blue one. They have a pink one. They have an array of colours for these. Black is the most common. And they also make one with a gold buttons and a little gold effect around it. But you probably all know this model. It's super cheap, super reliable. You could put it through its paces, it will never break. Very well made. And this is just literally, in the UK, I can buy this for £10. It's a great watch. It's a tiny bit on the small side, but it doesn't deflect anyone. Let me put it against this one here, by the way. So if you wasn't too sure, if you wanted something a little bit more classier, the F91, but you like the F91, that's your next bet, the A163. Same features, just I think a little bit better made, twice the price. Again, if you want something a bit better, this is a good option, but I do find it too white, but they do make this in an array of colours. And I think that's everything. So we've got a good array of watches here. Tell me in the comments which one do you like and why. I'd be interested to hear. Right, you take care. If you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll be doing some more videos. Thanks for watching. Cheers.